Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam to any and everybody that's checking in and chiming in with the good guy right now. When I say Islam, it's just the Arabic term for the English term peace. I bid you peace. I bid your family peace. I wish peace, or I pray for peace in your home, in your community, and I hope that you will want the same for me. And the peace that I would want for you, I would never disturb it. I wouldn't want you to disturb mine either. So we bid each other peace, man, when we come into contact. And again, me being a Moorish American, Asiatic Muslim, we are taught to greet one another in the term of Islam. So I say Islam. All right, real quick to check in, I want to follow up on part one of oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the title. Ghetto Prisoners Go-Spiel, and the subject was on men, mental health, men not knowing how to cry because we was never taught how to cry, uh, and because of that, doing the overviewing here, and because of that, what we learned as uh, little boys growing up, going through our adolescent stage, our teenage years, all the way to adulthood, is to never cry. And when we don't cry, remember, you would know from experience, you know if I'm lying or not, you're a male or a female who's gone through this, I'm sure. When we don't cry, we don't know how to cry, and we keep those pent up he motions and she motions in, then what happens is the anger, the disappointment, the frustration, it all gets transferred upon someone else or gets transferred upon something. And all of the transferring upon someone else or something is an attempt to relieve you of the feelings of anger and frustration. So you want to just do anything to subdue the pain, turn the volume down on it, even curb it, right? And if you don't project this pain, this anger, this frustration on something outside of you and it stays pent up in you, then if pressure busts a pipe, think about it. What you think it'll do to flesh? Pressure busts a pipe, man. What you think it'll do to flesh? And if it takes pressure to crush and crush and press and press and crush and press in order to create a diamond, what do you think that same pressure and crushing and pressing and crushing will do to a brain? Especially an adolescent one, especially one that's immature, that's still developing. So, in our community, because our people have gone through the wicked experience that we have, again, I reiterate, we have never had a moment of relief yet. This have been on. I don't care if you've been partying and maybe you've taken the time out in your mind to get drunk, high, and relieve yourself of the stress. That don't mean we're not still going through it. That don't mean that the struggle don't continues. Again, the reason why we as a people are losing so many battles is because we are, as a people, don't even know that we are at war, have been at war. The war has never stopped. It seems to me as everybody think that since Abraham Lincoln demonstrated this Emancipation Proclamation, as everybody's tell a story, the folklore story, we have been free. Think about that now. If you accept your freedom from someone from anyone for that matter, from a person on this earth, then guess what? That person or a person can subject you back to slavery. They could take your freedom. They gave it to you. As the biblical scriptures say, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. So are you free because of Abraham Lincoln, or were you born free? Let me try something. I'm going to inject something that might be kind of new to the whole. I'm going to cause a paradigm shift here. Check this out. I like to think that we are, in this day and age, I'm talking about, you can go to Great America, you can go to Las Vegas, Miami, you could do what you can go, you can stay out late at night, you can get a car, you can do anything and everything that parallels someone that's considered a free man or woman, right? But then, when you think about it, them same people that allows you to do those things can take them from you because you accepted those things from man. Why would we accept anything from man when God gave us everything like he gave every other man? All right, so look, let's get into this. So I will go straight into part two like this. I'm going to go into part two of a question that I'm asked a lot, and that question, and I chose to answer this question because I can make it relate to the subject. Also, I've been wanting to answer this question anyway, and I think it'll help a lot of people out there that may have a hard time trying to understanding how I do what I do in the signs of this question. And the question relates like this. The question is, why do I make this be in spirituality? Or how do I make this turn into spirituality? And this that they're talking about, me turning into spirituality, in their mind, of a Larry Hoover, or the literature that Larry Hoover offers us as guidance, as teachings and precepts and laws and things of that nature, the way they're seeing this as if it's gang literature, right? They have to. They're seeing Larry Hoover as a gang leader. They're looking at GDs and pitchforks and all that good stuff. And as they remember, they'll probably recall or know anybody that call itself GD. Maybe they're out there shooting, selling drugs. You may even have a family member that was hurt, harmed, or killed by someone that called themselves a GD. And you can't understand why in the hell, what's going on here? I can't understand this, right? And is this guy, he keep trying to turn this stuff into some kind of spirituality and things of this nature. This ain't got nothing to do with no religion. This is not about no Bible, no Quran. He's a Muslim. He got a 7 on his, he talking about he's an ill. I know all that kind of stuff, especially for those that's misinformed on what it means to be a GD. Or I should say about growth and development. So I'm going to do this. Instead of in my words, let's see what the master of the vision, Larry Hoover, and his executive staff put in their literature. They wrote this years ago. I'm talking about, we got stuff from 1981, 82, 84. We got stuff from 1990, right? Things that you're studying right now, that you've been studying, and you mean tell me you didn't see the word spiritual and spirituality? Like, let's go to, if anyone, I see you, few of you guys are right here. If you got, now I should have told you this from the outset. Obviously, if you know me, you should have your blueprint with you. So if you got a blueprint, have that handy real quick. And if you have the initiative letter, you might want to have that. I'm going to go back to the initiative letter. And remember, in part one, the major part of the discussion was initiative and the symptoms of complacency and apathy. Initiative still plays a part. It will always play a part. Anything that you do in life, if it's about progress, making progress, success, or anything, you have to have, it takes initiative to even start. And that's what's the problem. This is the problem with our people, our community. Uh, the point that I was trying to make with that was to say that even in light of us hearing and seeing and feeling and going through the traumatic experiences that we have as a people, especially with our children, right here, I'm talking about we're watching our children get murdered, death, killed right in our face. In some instances, the little brothers and sisters misguided are running into their home and killing your child or something like that. They don't care, right? It's just with reckless abandonment. And the reason why this continues in a consistent manner is because let me put it like this, the men is lacking initiative. The men refuse to take initiative to stop this, to come up with new plans, whatever it may be that we may, in fact, circle D, all of the above. What? Because there is no one solution to this complicated problem, complex problem that we have been experiencing as a people long before even I was born. It's not no one. That's the problem, is that each new leader or each new flash in the pan organization think that they have the one solution that's going to fit the cornucopia of problems and traumas and hurts and wounds that we have as a people. You're not. That's the problem. And this is where the confusion, the disagreement, the gang banging, or however you want to call it, come in at. Because each group or each leader with their one solution or problem to fit the cornucopia of problems feel as if their solution should get injected, and he or she feel like theirs should get injected, and you feel like we should go about it this way. We both want the same thing, but you don't want to take this road and you want to take that road to get there. Nobody has the wisdom to understand that you just might, both of you guys just might be right. How about both of your answers are right? And if you had wisdom, you would know that the only thing that will be wrong is if we try to apply the answers at the same time. Wisdom would tell us that there is a due season for each one of the answers. And so, for those that want to understand why I tie this into spirituality, and because Larry Hoover tied into spirituality, the executive staff ties it into spirituality. Again, the August 27, 1982 initiative letter. If you would go all the way to the last, basically the last paragraph or phrase, it'll read on this wise. He said, now listen to what he said. It is, let me make sure I get this right. Hold this. It is assuring that all people gain spirituality from their association with you and your brethren, as you gain spiritual strength from the teachings of our organizational empire under the concept of organization. Now, hold on, because I got to make it. This is the initiative ladder. Did you hear that? What do I got? That was the beginning for me even. This was the first time I ever realized. I've read this letter years and years ago, but this was the first time I realized that it said anything about spirituality or spiritualness. So I'm going to read that one more time. He said, it is assuring. Do you know what it means to be assuring? Assurance is insurance. Having insurance provides you with assurance. He said it is assuring that all people gain spirituality, gain spiritually from their association with you and your brethren, as you gain spiritual strength from where? From the teachings of our organizational empire under what? The concept of organization. That's just one. I really don't have to go no further than that. But this is black and white. This is from the 1980s, and most likely you guys are in the blueprint, right? Up to date. So let me bring it up to today. What you guys are studying. And chime in, hit the like button. If you've already seen this and read this, let me know. If not, let me know. Let me know if I helped you with something real quick. So here go the blueprint. I'm gonna go to, let me see. Oh, okay, nope. Okay, let's go to page 92. Yeah, let's go to page 92 in the blueprint. I believe it's the chapter of wisdom. It is. Okay, so listen. Ooh, my lighting is bad. So here we go. My lighting is bad. Either my lighting is bad or my eyes is bad. Here we go. All right, so watch this. Here's a paragraph. I'm on page 92 at the top. He said, we must move in this new direction with the urgency. I can't see this. Hold on, wait a minute. With the urgency of realizing that our time here on earth is limited, that the younger generation, which is submitting more and more to ill-conceived plans and negative concepts, is increasing in numbers, and that as we experience wisdom day by day, the lessons learned as past experience become as tools for teaching our youth the divine visions of our leadership. What y'all looking for the word spiritual or spirituality? You heard it. The same way I just told you and interpreted that Islam is Arabic for people. When you hear divine, that's spiritual. That's spirit. So the vision is divine. He said divine. Why would a gang leader, why would a drug dealer, a killer, a murder, all these negative connotations and attributes they've attributed to the brother and all his followers and people that he influenced, why would he be talking about spirituality? People gain spiritual from you as you gain spiritual strength from our teachings. And he just said his teaching, we know his teachings is the vision, but he just called that vision divine visions. In the chapter of wisdom, page 92. Let's go to this. I'm going to jump back. Let's go to page 89 real quick. Page 89. Bottom page of the page, wisdom. Again, he say wisdom is not man-made, but of a divine nature. Wisdom is not man-made, but of a divine nature that has its foundation in truth. I'm going to jump over to page 90. Middle of the page. Still talking from wisdom. He say, in other words, how much and in what way am I contributing to the divine visions set forth by our leadership? I want you to understand that this is addressing our spiritual man. Oh yeah, you didn't know you got a spiritual man, and if you have a spiritual man, then you have a spiritual identity. Biblically speaking, in the Bible, Jesus would say, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded forth from the mouth of God. Basically, it's saying this. The fact that he would say man should not live by bread alone implies you have a bread implies I have to address my physical man, take care of him. But then he said, but by every word that proceeded forth from the mouth of God, meaning, pardon me, but by every word that proceeded forth from the mouth of God, meaning my spiritual man. I got a spiritual diet that I'm supposed to be on as well. You have to take care of your spirit person, because at the end of the day, man, the physical man, is only expressing what the spiritual man is or want or is desiring, right? Bottom page, 90, still in the chapter wisdom. He say, rather it is designed to submit your personal desires as subordinate to the demands of the new direction. Submit to that which is our highest and best ideal. Submit to that which is truly, which is truly is divine visions for us all. Spirit. See, there's something about your spiritual, there's a spiritual identity that he's trying to introduce you to. Why? Because there's something, we have the same way that we were one spirit and we had to come through both man and woman coagulating, coming together, right? And then we had to come through the dressing room. I like to call the dressing room of the woman, or the laboratory of woman. We have to get us some flesh and bone, because we were spirit. We were too pure to be on this plane. So now we got to put on some flesh and bone so that we can express ourselves, so that we can experience ourselves on this physical plane that y'all call earth or physical. Okay? In the same manner, spirit has some good things for the earth. The spirit world got some good things that the earth is going to need, that we're going to need out here, right? So, but how does spirit get, in fact, how does thou make thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven? How do you do that? How do you manifest a vision into reality? Do you know how to do that? And if you do know how to do that, then what's the problem with conjuring up a thought of goodness, conjuring up a thought where the community is wholesome and balanced and healed, conjuring up a thought where the children can come out again and play, conjuring up a thought where they can lay down in their beds and rise in the morning without a bullet in their head, conjure up a thought where our sisters can make it to the car and back just to get her the pack of cigarettes she left in there. She can't even make it to the car and back without being killed or raped or robbed. Because if you can conjure that thought up, if we can conjure that thought up as a community, and you just told me you know how to manifest a thought into a reality. You just told me you know how to make kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Surely we can bring peace then.
peace in our home, peace in our marriages, peace in our schools, peace in the funeral home. Can we get some peace in the funeral home? Some peace in our heart, some peace in our mind, man. The kind of peace that you don't want disturbed, and I won't if you don't disturb mine, I won't disturb yours. So he has to introduce you to your spiritual identity and your spiritual man, because in that is your purpose. It's the reason that you are. Right? And because the purpose is spiritual, now I got to manifest the purpose into reality. How do I get that done? Okay, that's that. That's me answering that and why I do this, right? And this still will tie into something, but I want to kind of let me just add something else, another shade, so to speak, another angle to consider. We call ourselves the brothers and the sisters of the struggle. Let me take that back. Let me go back. I read a statement where a guy on social media, he was trying to talk about the history of growth and development, what year it started, when it didn't start, and things of that nature, right? As opposed to the gang banging years of Black Gangsta Disciple and all those things. Yeah, so he would, he as he went to lay down the dates for those things, he would talk about, obviously, it didn't start in 1978, started in 1981. 78 was the end of the all this, so let me just put it like this. If the blueprint, let's just say, or the new concept, for instance, was started in 1981 September, do you think they wrote it that day and said, send this out to everybody? They wrote it like on September 21st, 1981. They sat down that early morning, and by the nighttime, before 12:01 a.m. to make it September 22nd, they was able to give it out to everybody, right? No, that didn't happen that way, right? If you accept that Black Gangsta Disciple Nation was the initial, demonstration, and you're trying to understand, so at some point, all of that stopped, right? When did that stop? I'll tell you when it stopped. Now, I know that you would say that, and then somebody said we became Gangsta Disciples, and then in 1981 it was over with, right? Let me tell you when it was over with. Real talk. It was over with in 1978, 79, 80. By the time 81 got there, you was getting in writing. Everything that was prepared during 1978, when Larry Hoover and 16 other brothers was fighting for their life against the death penalty. When we had the Pontiac riots in Pontiac, Illinois. It was the biggest death penalty case still today in the history of this country. And fighting that case is what gave Larry Hoover the vision. Fighting for his life and 16 other of his brothers that was facing the same death penalty that he was facing. Think about this, man. If nothing else will wake you up in your life, If nothing else will wake you up in life or something that will make you snap and say, hold on, something ain't right. You don't think it will be an attempt against your life? You wouldn't think that thing that would get you right and make you say, hold on, let me, wait. Is someone trying to take your life? The vision, the blueprint, all the Black Gangster Disciple and all that stuff went out the door in 1978, 79, and 80 when he was fighting for his life. Out of that fight for him and his brother's life, we in that fight, as a matter of fact, out of that struggle was born the Brothers of the Struggle. This is why when you see every piece of literature that you consider black and white, or you may even consider gangster, I dare you to go show me a piece of literature with the heading to the Gangster Disciple Nation from 1981 on. You ain't gonna find it, because it was never to the Gangster Disciple Nation in the manner that you think. It was to the brothers and the sisters, for that matter, of the struggle. What's the struggle? The struggle is the movement. The brothers and sisters of the movement. What movement? The movement is our forever, ever, never-ending fight for freedom. What's freedom? What is freedom? I would like to hear everybody's definition of what freedom is. Everybody always hollering freedom, and we want freedom, and what's your what is freedom? Have you ever defined that for yourself? Do you have your own definition of defining, a coinage of what freedom is? Or do you see freedom as acting like those who used to own us? Because as I see it, our people never even got their own definition of what it means to be free. What we did, we probably came out of slavery. We already knew we was a slave and he was free as a slave master. He damn sure wasn't no slave because I was his slave. So if I have no other definition, I can't read the definition because I can't read it right. But if I have no one going to tell me how to be free, I know what I can do. I'll look at them. I'll copy them. I'll even assimilate with them. Integrate with them. Act like them. Here, take my child. Give them your education. I don't get the same education that creates the mind that hate me. I mean, literally hate my guts. The same education, the same religion that will create a mind that will grow up to murder, death, kill anything and everything that look like me. I will turn my child over and say, here, educate him and her too. Give them the same mind. Give them the same religion that you get. I don't give it. Give them the same religion you get Opie in them. Nope. Look, I know you free, and all we want to do is do it like you, boss. And if you do it like you, I know we'll be free too. And so now we are the hate that hate produce. We hate one another and dislike one another with the same goddamn hatred that a racist mind. I'm talking about a racist mind from the lynching era, because that's what we're doing out here. We're lynching each other. We lynching motherfuckers all through this son of a bitch. And we do that for why wouldn't we? Your education make it so. It's not yours. Their education isn't racist. Their religion isn't racist. Their history isn't racist. All of their education, their religious, all of that was put together by their forefathers, by their educators, for their people, for their minds. As they looked at the world and they articulate and interpret the world, they said we would need this kind of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as a people so that we may survive in this world. See, that education was specifically for them. But here we go. We want to fit our shit in their story and get mad when we wait. Why the characters ain't black? Cause this ain't your shit. It was never meant to fit you. You mad talking about the system. It was never designed for you. It was never meant to fit your best interest and serve your purpose at all. It was always meant to pull the damn rug from up under you. Period. Now what you gonna do? Self-determined people. What we gonna do? What's our definition of freedom? What's our economic plans? What's our curriculum? What are our academics? What's our political party? What's our name? What's our nature? You get mad looking at a commercial, ain't nothing but Europeans floating across the air, and they talking about a particular medicine for a particular problem that's specific to the Caucasian people and how they're wired up and designed. And then and by the end of that commercial, you be hearing that little low tone. They telling you all the side effects you're going to go through if to take this demonstration just to knock out this one or two thing, right? And then you'll see us sitting up there mad. Man, fuck that, man. Why they got to take all these? We going to get all these damn side effects. I be getting mad at the motherfucker too. Man, why the fuck you sitting up here think they talking about you? This ain't got a goddamn thing to do with you and I. So if you don't take that shit, you ain't got to worry about that. You ain't wired up like them. It just ain't got nothing to do with it. This is just boss talk reality, man. It's any science will prove this. We are the most melanin. Do you know what melanin? Man, listen. There's nothing on earth, bro. Nothing. To hell with me saying, go do the science. There's nothing on earth like melanin, bro. You think gold, they got y'all tricked thinking that gold is the most valuable demonstration. It's melanin, bro. Can't nothing on this earth hold and transfer, interpret electricity like melanin. Protons and electrons like melanin. The rocket ships that they send into space is heavily coated, with what you think? Melanin, bro. So as it's hitting out there and the fire, it will not allow that rocket ship to be damaged. Can't nothing do it like us. We the only one that can take that kind of. We the only one that can go through those struggles. We built for it. We don't run from the sun. Why? We don't run from the rhythms of nature. We get in tune. We dance with it. Tango even. We take in the sun rays, bro, and we interpret that demonstration. And when it gets interpreted through our bodies, it turns into vitamin D or the hormone D all over our bodies, from our mind to our head. From our mind all the way to our feet. Ain't nothing but vitamin D receptors. Vitamin D receptors all through our body, all over us, right? And we get that in the sun, when the sun rays or the light of the sun hit our melanated skin, and you see that darkening begin, like y'all call it tan, that darkening begin to happen. That's the chemistry of life happening. That's the chemistry of life. It took the light of the sun to shine on the darkness. And when that light of the sun hit that darkness, it started some, some stimulation going. Our cells begin to stimulate. Our cells begin to take in the information of that sunlight. Because that's what cells do. You got over 70 trillion of them all over your body, taking in the light of the sun and interpreting that light. And when that lights get interpreted, we manifest it into reality as whatever. In the instance of George Washington Carver, he took it and mastered the peanut 300 products. Over. It's just what we do. It's how we built. It ain't got nothing to do with anything but natural, raw science and truth. But we're the only one who seem not to know that. Gold, black gold. And so Frederick Douglass would say, without struggle, there is no progress. Wow. What an awesome thing to say for us and our people, man. After all that we've been through, think about it. After all that we've been through, we're still here, aren't we? It's for a reason. We're still here, aren't we? It's on purpose. You ain't here by accident today. After all we've been through, man, this would have killed anybody else. They would be a proverb right now. Remember the people of, but not us. Our story continues. We just keep on marveling everybody, don't we? We just keep on they be like flabbergasted. How do they, after all we throw at them, they just keep on? What is it? We was built for this. We was built for the struggle. We was built for the pressure. You know why? Because the kingdom of God got to come on earth, baby. This gonna be the biggest one yet. This gonna be the biggest one yet. This gonna be our greatest one that we ever pulled off and did. Out of all of this, out of everything that we've been through and everything we've gone through, I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna bring us to a unity. By choice or by force. It's gonna bring us to a oneness that is going to compel the best out of us. He said growth and development builds in stages. It's about stalking and being stalked. See, the problem is we haven't been taught from an adolescent on up to adulthood how to differentiate which one is pain and which one is struggle. You ain't differentiating the pain from the struggle. See, we got to go through them. You're gonna go through them. The thing is interpreting them and then transforming them. And we're not transforming it in a positive and productive way. It's when we transform it or transfer it, it comes out destructive as opposed to constructive. Why? Why aren't you turning the pain into struggle? And if you turn the pain into struggle, you can strive in it. See, all pain, you're not supposed to get to a point in life where you just 0% pain. You might as well be dead. We're supposed to have pain. We're supposed to have struggle. The thing is, which one are you? Do you know how to transform it? Pardon me. Do you know how to transform the pain and the struggle? And do you know how to interpret which one should I be going through to bring me to the next level? And which one I should be holding and crying through to get to the next level? The old man would say something about the birth pains of a baby. We watch a child or a baby being birthed and coming to this plane to manifest, and I like to make the example with if that baby didn't cry, it would have everybody in the room worried, right? But up on the doctor smacking the behind or the buttock and the baby begin to cry, it's like, yeah. Even though he's crying, everybody else is. But so it make you wonder, while y'all are excited and the baby is crying, what's going on? I don't understand why the baby ain't excited. Because the baby know what he just came through or she just came through to get here. The baby know what it just took to make it to this next level. And the cry allows you to sit with it in a healthy way, to study it, to observe it, right? And out of that study and observation, you gain hindsight. Once you get that hindsight, in your present moment, it blesses you with insight. So now I got hindsight, I got insight, which equals foresight. That's vision. So you're being robbed of your vision, or your vision or our vision is being obscured because the pain and trauma that we're going through, we just have failed in interpreting it or transforming it correctly. And this is what's going on with our young men and women for that matter today. They are emotional and she-motional kegs. Bottled up kids, pop off, fuck that, oh, fuck that. That's all you get. No kind of restraint, none of that. Never been taught. And so now, each loss become a collateral damage. Each loss, each time we have a loss, it's a everybody suffers. Everybody suffers. The whole community, the whole village. As an individual, you suffer collaterally as well. Because now you holding the pain, it's obscuring your vision on how to grow and develop out the pain. So since you're holding the pain, the hurt, and the wounds and things and that, and dwelling on them and just being bogged down in them, right? What happens is now, again, you end up lashing out because as a child, you don't know what else to do. You just pop off. You don't have the communication skill to articulate what's going on, the ball of confusion that you feeling. So you tear shit up. And you really get pissed off at the so-called self-righteous, know-it-all adults in your life who can't seem to understand what the hell you going through. All that, I've been a child too. Yeah, but what the hell going on in my head, man? I'm feeling all kind of, what's up? How do I get this? What do I do? You too, huh? Pop off. Get the hell up out of here. So yeah, we're going to go through pain. We're going to have losses. We're going to have some traumas. But what we need to begin to understand is how to heal. How to heal out of that. The blueprint offers us that formula. As he lets us know, we have to do this in stages. We have to do this in degrees. It's not a one day, one shot, and it's over with out of that. No. We got work to do. Not a job, work. When we don't know how to take that pain, these traumas, and release them or transform them so that we can transfer it in a constructive way, we get the results that we see, very, very destructive results. We as men have simply got to get together. Period. We as I'm talking about the positive, productive people out here who's really ready to see this crap stop. We cannot ask permission from government on thy rod and thy staff with our children. We cannot, listen, this is really a self-determined move that has to be made on our part for both our present and our future. Or else, the future will look back and think, how coward of them to have never lifted a finger, just yelled and moaned and gripe. And how selfish of them to have existed a whole life and never became the answers to the prayers of the people that God's created and designed them for in the first place. I want to thank any and all who checked in and chimed in with the good guy. I am your servant, serving you, Sheikh Fareed Saif Evansville. Peace. One people, one love, one vision. Free Larry Hoover now. Free them all. Boss talk. Boss talk. Gratitude to my TikTok family. Gratitude to my Facebook family.